Coffee people, what up? Dark Dragon Costa Rica, new coffee, new dark roasted coffee for you peeps who like it dark. You know, we've been dropping banger after banger on the light roast side of the spectrum.
Gotta spread the love.
Yeah, we get that that's not for everybody.
No.
Is that my preference? Sure, but at the same time, at Stone Creek Coffee, we've got something for all coffee geeks, no matter where they're at in their coffee journey, no matter what their taste preferences are. So yeah, we've been cycling through some different dark roast seasonal coffees for those of you who like it dark and you like some variation.
Yeah, something
drink
different.
The same thing every day.
Yeah.
So we had sweater weather, dark Brazil last fall. We just went through Awakening, dark from Nicaragua.
Yep.
And now we've got Dark Dragon Costa Rica, which we actually did once upon a time. I think early COVID actually. It's like BC a little bit.
Mm-hmm. BC. Before COVID.
2020, we did some special like dark roast releases. So we put a dark roast on the coffee we used for Green Dragon. That coffee has since changed. So our Green Dragon base coffee changed this year. And then this is the dark roast version of that. So Dark Dragon, which is from the Palmichal Mill in Costa Rica. Tell me how you kind of describe Green Dragon, and then we'll talk about how Dark Dragon kind of compares to that in terms of like, taste profile.
Yeah, Green Dragon has this like earthiness that's not in like a negative. I know like sometimes earthiness can be used as like, oh, it tastes like grass or anything like that, but it's got this like hardiness that for a light roast allows this like very even rounding of a flavor profile. A lot of times with light roast, you can get, oh, that's a lot of bright acidity, or that's like we talked about with SL28. Like there's like an effervescence to it, but Green Dragon has this really nice, well-rounded, not too sharp, not too like muddy or fizzy light roast profile that I don't get from a lot of light roasts.
Yeah, I think cashew is kind of a note that I'll call out. It's a nuttiness, but it's not like roasted peanut. It's not almondy. It's not bitter.
Which you don't see in light roasts a lot.
Kind of smooth. Yeah, I do see in Costa Rica a fair amount. And then just like a touch of like a white grape fruitiness, which again isn't like big acidity. So it's a really, really good like kind of everyday drinker. So
Intro to light
it's not
roast,
going to offend
maybe.
anybody. Yeah, for sure. Like just eminently drinkable. Then you dark roast that, and what's it taste like?
It's
Halo.
It's kind of got like some graham cracker, like I think a lot of s'mores, like I feel like drinking this by a campfire would be really nice, like having a pairing with a s'more or something like that has that like warm, hearty, like quiet, calming essence to it, if you will.
Still small voice.
Still small voice in the morning from your little cuppy cup.
One of the things we try to bring into our dark roast is complexity, and that doesn't mean anything, so I'll rephrase it and say that what we try to bring in is different flavor notes. Like we don't want you to just be like, oh, well, that tastes like smoke, or that tastes like roasted nuts, or that tastes like dark chocolate. Like there needs to be layers of flavor kind of present, and there is the carbonic element of a dark roast present. But then it also, like I feel like we've kind of pulled some red fruit notes out with this roasting that aren't as present in the light roast. Like to me, this kind of, we're getting a little pruny. You know, Costco sells these dried strawberries that are amazing. Hard not to eat a whole bag. A true you can't eat just one situation. As a light roast drinker, there are like qualities in this that I like, oh yeah, that's really, really good, and I appreciate that a great deal, whereas you know, I'm not as into the carbon notes or the roasty notes that tend to draw in folks who are big in the dark roast scene.
Yeah.
Like Three Volcanoes is another good example of like, hey, we've got this dark roast coffee, but it's really, really good coffee that we could light roast and it'd be exquisite. But because we know that folks really dig the dark, hey, we're gonna send it a little bit, take those temps up, and then leave you with a profile that is delicious as a dark, but also brings with it the quality and some dynamic fruit stuff that you wouldn't get in other darks.
Yeah, just an all-around good coffee. Even like I myself tend to lean more light, similar to you, and this is one of those coffees that I still would, if given the chance, I would still drink it. Like I wouldn't say no to this being presented to me because it's a delicious cup and it's full.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of flavor to it. It's not just, like you said, carbonic and like heavy. It's got a lot of elements that you don't really see a lot in dark roast, which is great.
100%. If I'm like going to breakfast somewhere across the city and they serve me this with my breakfast, I'm like, hell yeah.
Say less. Yeah, absolutely.
And you can pick it up now if you so desire in cafes or at stonecreekcoffee.com. Much more smoothly.